welcome back to On Point from the Summerdale Church of Christ. I'm Ray Reynolds, and we are studying through the book of Proverbs. We've gone through a proverb every day through the month of August, and it comes now to chapter 20. Now, I might say also, before we read the proverb, this is a sensitive subject alert, okay? This is a text where maybe one of a little bit of contention. It's one that's going to touch on some nerves and maybe step on a few toes. But I want you to listen to the wisdom of Solomon, and I'm going to share with you what I think he's trying to say to us, especially to those children that he's trying to instruct in the way of God. He says in verse 1 of chapter 20, "Wine is a mocker, strong drink is a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise." From the very first page, he's saying there's a contrast between those that practice wisdom and walk in wisdom and those that do things that are foolish and unrighteous. And here he puts alcohol, consumption of alcohol, in the text. This is something that if you consume it, if you are impaired by it, if you are, tempted by it, if you are allowing it to overtake you, it is going to make you foolish. So he says, if you're wise, you're not going to be led astray by alcohol. You're going to avoid it at all costs. This was not that uncommon. Now, I know some people will say, well, they drank wine all the time in Bible times, and that's technically true, and that it was offered many times at a dinner table if there was a meal, because the water consumption was pitiful. They wouldn't have been able to do that a lot. But when we talk about wine, there's actually two different kinds. There's several, but the two main ones are new wine that had just been squeezed from the grape, and then other that had been set back for the purpose of being able to, ferment and then to be delivered to someone for a purpose of drunkenness. But this idea here, he says, is if you want to be really wise, you avoid it altogether. Now, we talk about the Nazirite vow. We could talk about places where a good, strong, and faithful Jews would avoid it at all costs. They would avoid alcohol. And here he wants you to know that it's going to cause you to fight and fuss. There's other texts here in Proverbs that talk about how it's going to impede your judgment, how it's going to cause you to stumble and fumble. It's going to cause conflicts within your relationships. And so his advice to his children and to us as we read it is just avoid it altogether. There's nothing really good that can come from consuming alcohol and becoming drunk. There's nothing good that comes from that. People say, well, I try to get rid of my sorrow and my pain using any kind of medicinal things or alcohol or drugs or anything of that nature is not the answer. Don't allow yourself to become someone who is, a victim of substance abuse. Avoid it. And Solomon says if you do that, you'll be pretty wise. I hope you have a great day today. Have a good one. Make it awesome. Thanks for tuning in to On Point.